What is going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekend astrology forecast for the weekend of December 3rd and the 4th of 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Appreciate you all so much. Hope you had a great week. Definitely a lot going on this week. Everybody I know in my life had like a very interesting week. Could have been a lot of good things, a lot of weird things, a lot of bad things. It was just like a lot of things happening to everybody. So very interesting. Let's take a look at the weekend. Hope you're all doing outstanding and happy Saturday. Or if you're catching this on Sunday, happy Sunday. So Saturday here, the most interesting, notable astrological aspect is Neptune. If I wasn't on the eraser, that'd be great. Neptune is stationed. It's going to come direct at about 4:20 p.m. on the West Coast this Saturday, December 3rd. So the station Neptune's very interesting because in a lot of ways it's this stopped place within our imagination, within our ideals, our visions, dreams. There's a lot of all these things that we might think about when we're driving or daydream about. They're kind of like coming back online. Not that they've been gone, but it is cloudy. I mean, Neptune moving is cloudy. It's still cloudy station, but I do think it does give us kind of a moment where things intuitively kind of still themselves and calm themselves here, which can be very helpful. What's even more interesting is that as it's stationing, it's getting squared by Venus in Sagittarius. So Saturday is so interesting with people, of course, with our manifestation qualities, the physical qualities that feel good to us in life, that, bring us comfort, but also, other people energy, relationship energy. Very strange. This is like, it does feel like there's an energy of, it's forcing, the true colors to show within people, especially spiritually, like what your soul is really going for, what other people's souls are really kind of trying to go after in this life and on this adventure here that we're on as humans. And this is an interesting, I feel like this square is going to force true colors to show, and we're not going to want to see it, but we're going to have no choice but to see it. So I think, you'll know very obviously what is true or not true, but it's also a matter of Mercury's out of bounds, Mars is out of bounds, Venus is now out of bounds. These are all out of bounds, right? So all the personal planets are out of bounds. And, making these squares to Neptune. It's very interesting that all these out of bounds planets, Venus, Mercury, and Mars, retrograde, are all squaring Neptune, within 5 degrees, right? There is like this quality of our personal life that is going into places it's never gone before, and our relationships are showing a reflection of that. Our jobs might be showing a reflection of that. Finances are showing a reflection of that. There's a lot of things that are trying to change right now and be mutable and mutate and shift so that we can really, with the sun at 11 degrees, and 11 is a master number, and the sun's there, I would say take us to this, more elevated spiritual belief within ourselves and where we're trying to go. But it's like, are we willing to, kind of crack the door wide open and see things for what they really are, like really get to the bottom of our truth and like not settle for less? Especially with Venus dispositing the North Node and being in this square to Neptune. And with Uranus at 15 Taurus, this is very, it all comes very like back to the Taurus energy within ourselves, especially with Venus, right? This philosophy of our reality and of how we're creating reality right now and what we're trying to manifest and nurture and grow has got to go through this spiritual change. And it's almost so obvious, but we don't want to see it, or we're feeling like a little hesitant to act upon it, especially with Mars retrograde. So it's a very interesting weekend just in terms of knowing what is the most beneficial in our life and what is going to actually feel good. But we have these big ideals and visions of the way we thought it was supposed to look, almost like from the past and in our subconscious. And I think that if we're spiritually aware, we can, break down these limiting beliefs and kind of expand spiritually into where things can go, because I do believe that there's no reason that things cannot expand into places we've never seen them before. But it's very interesting dealing with people. People are going to show their true colors, and we're going to be like, oh, it's okay. They're just having a bad day, And it's like, hmm. So we definitely do want to try and pay attention to our physical surroundings and our environment with Mars retrograde in Gemini as well. And gosh, it's definitely, you don't want to get spelled into someone else's story right now that doesn't align with your values and what you're trying to create. I would say it's very important to pay attention to that. So very interesting day. Of course. And then Mercury's heading towards the galactic center and heading towards its square to Jupiter in Pisces, which Jupiter's about to come to 29 degrees here. So, our minds are about to explode, I'll be honest. Like, they don't know which way's up, left, right, center. Everything is a complete jumble right now. Everything is all over the place with change in our environments and people and what we thought was a thing, but it's actually not happening that way, and it's an illusion, and there's shifts and pivots. It's like wild, and this moon in Aries can get a little antsy and kind of upset at times, and it's going to square Pluto by the evening, and it is going to make a sextile over to Saturn, which is nice. But still, Moon, Saturn aspects, sextile, trine, square, opposition, conjunction, they're all a little, Because it's the integrity to be in our highest mature sense of ourself. And to, really, this Moon in Aries is going to feel so much better when it is paying attention to its true wants and needs and values and finding that courage and charisma to go after it. And to say, this is what I want in my life. And this is, I'm seeing a reflection I don't want to look at. And this is not the vision, not the dream that I want to create any longer. But that moon is also going to make really nice trines over to Venus and Mercury today as well. So I would say that the moon, aside from finishing off with a square to Pluto, which is definitely trying to initiate the transformation of our integrity within our soul here, but it's like so intense. Our desires can be so intense, but yet there's a I don't know if I can act on the thing. I don't know if I can say what I need to say. Maybe it'll just be okay if I wait it out. It's almost like it almost has a laziness to it, but at the same time it doesn't. So it's very like kind of both to me when I feel into the energy. It's like we can want to just be so nonchalant and let things slide, but we're getting a really identified version of what needs to happen. And I think if we're willing to find the courage to act on these things, especially within our personal lives, which is so out of bounds right now, that's actually a beautiful thing, because we're kind of outside the limits of the ecliptic here. And even Saturn in Aquarius, like, it's kind of outside Saturn's actual realm here in Uranus's modern home, of course. And Uranus at 15 Taurus, which is just absolutely shifting and changing this physical realm. So Saturday's very interesting. This weekend's very interesting, really. There's a lot of especially with Neptune about to move forward here, there's a lot of spiritual progression that we're about to see within ourselves that we haven't experienced yet, that's on the horizon here. And there's so much that's on the horizon. And I do think as long as we're willing to initiate change to get in alignment with what we want, it's like, gosh, there's so much potential. It's like anything could be possible, but you have to have the integrity and the strength and the courage to initiate the change, or you're stuck in subconscious patterns of trying to create something that is such an illusion, be it with people or values or just your day-to-day life. As we look at Sunday, we do have, of course, Neptune now officially stationed direct in this chart. And we're starting to see that Jupiter's now at 29 degrees for the final time that we'll see with Neptune there. So this is a very interesting, next, 19 days until Jupiter goes into Aries and then transits through throughout the next few months. But it's very intense spiritually, because now we have Neptune and Jupiter direct again in Pisces. And this is where we can close out so many illusions in our life. We can really step into this higher consciousness within ourselves and really feel into what can grow and what can expand. But it's almost like this knowing that Jupiter has to say, some cycles ended here, as it's finishing in the 12th house in Pisces for the collective. And we just have to be willing to do that. And Mercury's starting to square that over this next couple days coming into the beginning of the week. But we might be starting to feel that. Of course, Venus is coming off the square to Neptune. We can, if we're willing to dissolve and go with the flow of the universe and trust our feelings and trust our intuition and expand into new journeys, oh my gosh. Again, this is such an interesting weekend, because it's almost like we can take the bait and really go into a timeline that we actually don't want, or we can really make little, they don't have to be big moves. It can feel like a big move, but really it's probably something small that's accelerating you towards a timeline and a situation that you actually as a soul really do want. And the moon's coming into Taurus, where it's exalted, and it really does want to focus in on the sensual, the sensuality of our physical realm, and really get into your comforts and really feel into your body and what is going to make you feel, I mean, honestly, like purposeful in a lot of ways, and really ground us, because it's had to have a lot of integrity Saturday. It's had to transform. It's had to really feel into the expanse that can take place within so many parts of our physical realm, within our mind. And then it's like, let's ground ourselves in that Sunday and really put effort in. Let's put the effort in. It doesn't have to be like fast, crazy movement, but, slow and steady about slowing down and really feeling into what part of your life is the dream and what part of your life is now a nightmare, and being able to, be stubborn for like really the truth of what you want in your life. Ground yourself in that and feel into that and start believing in that story and start doing the little things necessary to get more of what feels good and to do that. So it's very interesting. We do get also the sun trine Chiron in Aries. So I do really like that aspect a lot. Of course, when we are able to identify with a path in our life right now, and with this trail and this journey we're trying to navigate, and our own beliefs of what's possible, and not feel like things are not possible or limit ourselves when there's so many things out of bounds. There's so much energy out of bounds. There's so much outer, realm energy here in many ways, that if we can stop limiting ourselves and identify with what we really want and aim our arrow in that direction and stop repeating subconscious patterns, like, we can really ground ourselves in something really, really special. But man, does it take courage, and man, is it hard to break, some of these habits. I feel like some of this comes down to like breaking bad habits this weekend and like seeing the truth of the matter. And maybe some fog gets wiped away with Neptune stationed, but it's almost like the fog got wiped away and we still want to be in the mist and in the fog, like, I don't see it. So Mars is coming, Mars is starting to move too. Like, Mars is going 23 degrees in retrograde. So we are having to like retrace steps, and it's bringing up a lot of stuff from the past here. So we're definitely seeing a lot of past traits get identified, and we don't, and even Mars doesn't want to identify it. But this is where we can consciously shine a lot of light on these things and really take that spiritual next step. And I think that it's very potent for that. And it's like that next step within your soul that you know you have to act on in physical reality will bring something, really special if we're willing to do it. So that's what I got for this weekend. I do hope you have a lovely one. See what a couple cards have to say for this weekend. Temperance reversed. I think this is saying that, we can sit back and just be patient forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and be like, oh, I'll just wait. But there's something about taking initiative here to bring harmony and to bring alignment into our lives in a more grounded, substantial way from our soul. And you'll feel it, and you'll know, and you'll be able to spiritually and emotionally identify so much. We can overthink it and stop ourselves and stall. I don't think, it's a time to be super patient. Like when you feel it and you see it, don't trick yourself into thinking you don't see it. Six of Cups in reverse. It's time to create some new memories in life. It's like, sure, we can go back into all the feel-good stuff from the past, or we can just kind of dwell on emotions or feelings from the past. I will tell you that if you're getting situations that are synchronistic from the past right now, it's because we need to not do the same thing again. We need to break habits and create new emotional memories in different ways. So I feel like we got to break some patterns. Gosh, this is like 3 days in a row with three reverse cards, and this one's the moon. Again, more subconscious. Like we got it. This is the weekend where subconscious patterns are showing up in our life, and we can pretend that we don't want to see it. We can be like, I can't possibly change that. It's too scary. It's bringing up subconscious fears. When really the change and what we're going to see, right, is actually making that change is what's going to show us the gems and the beauty that we're looking for. Reminds me of the ocean coming up, or the tides with the moon and low tide, and there's all these pretty, shells and treasures that the ocean washes up. But if we're too scared to go down to the beach at night and take a look, we're not going to see all these treasures. So it's like getting out of the fear of change and trying what you feel, because you can intuitively know there's treasure on the other side. So remember, don't lose the vision of what is an actual treasure to your soul and what will actually make you feel more yourself and more grounded in that. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you all Monday. Much love. Peace.